What is up, gang? It's Deltia from DeltiasGaming.com, and in this video we're going to cover, does race, not size, really matter in Elder Scrolls Online? What I've done is created two characters on the PTS, the public test server. One is the optimal spec High Elf Magic Sork, and the other, on the Aldermary Dominion faction, is the exact same spec gear champion points, a Wood Elf. So we got big stats here and we got little stats. The purpose of this video is to show you in context with the exact same build, so you can formulate your own opinion. Is it worth spending all those times re-rolling? Let me do the science and math for you here. I can't add very well, but thank you, Internet, for calculators. Let's see what Mr. Little Stats hits here and check out his gear and CP. Okay, so we're on my little Wood Elf Bosmer here. Bosmer is very, very good for stamina builds, but it's terrible for magic builds. Why? It has no additional benefit racially in the passives for max health, max magic, or elemental damage. It's very, very good as a sneaky, high stamina regeneration. And people ask me, well, it doesn't really matter if I'm level 40. Well, that's true. The gap when you start to when you finish, if your race is very good or not for what you want to do at endgame, is significantly more impactful the longer you are. So at level 10, you're not going to notice a big, huge difference between a Bosmer and a High Elf. At level VR 16 with fully legendary gear, best in slot, blah, 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 you will. So for this video, what I want to do is take off my Molag Kina, which is what I'm using so I don't accidentally proc it. So we're rocking 1 medium, 5 light, just like my ignition build, except with a few traits, all magic. I got 36,000 magic buff. Look at that haircut. That's sweet. Them eyes, yeah. And I'm rocking willpower jewelry, 1 healthy, 2 arcane, and a crappy trait lightning staff. That's my gear. And the champion points, 60 into regen, 40 into reduce cost. I went 80 into LM Expert and 20 into Elfborn. And then over here I have 100 into the Bastion, so not a big deal. I'm running my Ignition build, so I have Double Bard, Inner Light, Bound Aegis, Force Pulse, Pulsar, Crystal Frags, and then Energy Overload on. So what we want to try to see is, what exactly do we hit for on an average / high, low, all that stuff. So all we need to do is apply 1 buff, that's Power Surge, giving us a 20% power increase. I'm going to do a couple here, a couple Pulsars here, let's do a C Frags. Couple more. Okay, so we have a little bit of damage here, and Foundry Tactical Combat is a really helpful add-on that can tell you exactly how much damage you're doing, the highs and lows, and how often you crit. So you see right here, Force Pulse, DPS, damage per second, percentage of it that it crit, then average and max. Max is really useful for this specific test. So C-Frags hit for 19,000 and Storm Pulsar hit for 8,400. It was the hardest it hit. So let's go kill some more things here and fast forward, so that way we get a better, more accurate account, just in case something was out of whack. Okay, we're on Big Stat Guy now, and we're going to take off the medium, the heavy helm, and look at his stats. So right there, 40,000 magic. That is a significant difference. The spell power remains the same. I also have a crappy lightning staff. Just to prove to you, it's the exact same champion points. I got the 80 and the 20, the 60 and the 40 here, and then the 100 and the Bastion. I'm wearing the exact same gear, all enchanted the same, all legendary, as the public test server gives you all this stuff. So it's the exact same and the exact same build. Now, if you aren't familiar with all the racials, I have them on my website. It's not exactly the most up-to-date, but you can go on the public test server or go to creating a new character and check them out for yourself. That is really, really helpful. Elemental Stamina. That's Frost, Fire, Shock, which is extremely helpful as a Sorc. Not to mention 10% max magic. That's why there's such a difference in the max magic. And then regen, of course. So let's go beat on crap and see what we can get here. When we put both side by side, Wood Elf with no passes, High Elf with passes for doing more magic damage, we notice there's only about a 4 to 8% increase in DPS. But passives go far beyond that, whether it's resistance, magic recovery, stamina recovery, or elemental damage. These passives add up. If you're like me and you want to just get every little bit you can out of your character, 5% matters. Not to mention that these numbers will go up and down depending on if you're using other things like Warhorn, the crit bonuses. All that stuff may or may not make these numbers go up, down, or in between. So this is just a small sample to give you guys an idea. Does it really matter? We're on my character login screen. I've pretty much had every single race in the game and have played it almost to endgame. And what I can tell you is, it does matter to someone like me. Someone that tries to do Vet Maelstrom Arena, Trials, become Emperor, PvP, and that sort of thing. If you're not trying to squeeze every ounce of performance out of your character, or if that's not important to you, well, maybe race doesn't matter so much. But if every little small percent adds up for a big impact, then race makes it for you. So it just depends. Ask yourself, why are you playing this game? To be the best? To have fun, to craft, to hang out with friends? That should give you the answer. And does race matter? Not size.